All right, hey there, guys. Welcome back. The muskie season is nearly here. In some parts of the country, actually, the muskie season is in full effect. So I wanted to give you guys a muskie tactic that's going to work for you. This muskie tactic is similar to a smallmouth tactic that I did in a recent video. So if you watched that other video, you might actually know where I'm going with this. But what I want to talk to musky anglers today about is frustration. And you might be saying to yourself right now, like, what the heck? I came here for some lure tips, or I came here for musky tips. Why are we talking about frustration? But you know what? Frustration is what we're going to talk about today. Musky anglers, we fish all day long for one bite sometimes. One bite. And it's frustrating. It's demoralizing. It gets in your head, and at times it is nothing but suck. All right? And for those of you that haven't caught musky yet, you might not know what I'm talking about, but all day casting big lures with no success. So what you need to do is you need to change up your mentality when it comes to musky fishing. There are a couple of ways to do this. You need to see success not in catching a fish, but you need to see success in other ways. Maybe having a follow, maybe making a good cast, maybe a good presentation, maybe just enjoying your time on the water, keeping a healthy, hopeful mental state of mind. Success in musky fishing can't just be catching big fish, because if that's the only thing that you determine your success on, you're going to have a ton of terrible days on the water. So upgrade your mental game and enjoy being out and fishing for muskie. Not catching muskie, fishing for muskie. So, frustration gets me down to one of in my opinion, the largest errors, the gravest errors that you can make as a muskie fisherman. And this idea came to me last night. I was watching a premier musky YouTube channel, and I'm not going to tell you which one it was, but one of the fishermen casts out, reeling, boom, he gets cranked, and almost immediately the lure flies off. And the fisherman takes his rod and hits it down into the water in anger and frustration. And I'm not judging him for doing that, because we've all been there. We've all been there and done that. But he turned to the other people and he said something like, she's not gonna bite again. Like that kind of attitude. She felt the hooks. And again, if you watch my smallmouth video, I've already talked about this, but saying a fish felt the hooks is just, that's not how fish operate, okay? Muskie can be very aggressive, and when you get them to bite, that aggression doesn't just go away like that. What you need to do, you get a bite, you get a fish to bite, even if your lure pops off, even if you're fighting that fish for 5 seconds and it pops off, immediately cast back past that fish, not directly on top of the fish. You don't want to land a manta hang 10 kerplunk straight on the head of that fish, because it will spook it. Instead, cast past that fish, bring your lure past it, and you will, over the course of your season of fishing for muskie, you will realize, oh my gosh, muskie will bite again, okay? They absolutely will, and it doesn't happen every time. But you know what? When you're fishing for one fish in your entire day and you get a fish to bite, and then instead of casting back, you turn to your buddies and you say something ridiculous like, oh, it felt the hooks, and then you throw your rod around and you kind of have a tantrum, that's not going to work. If you're trying to boost your chances, why the heck are you not immediately going back and trying to get that fish? You triggered an aggression out of the fish, right? It's aggressive. And what I tell my clients is I say, that fish is in predator mode. Like I say it, like literally this exact scene is played out before multiple times in my boat. I'll say, cast back, cast back, cast back. That fish is in predator mode. And actually I have some clients that that watch my YouTube videos, and if you wouldn't mind commenting down below, I'm not going to say what your name is, but you probably know who it is that I'm talking to. Comment down below, because this exact scene is played out where I yell, it's in predator mode, cast back, and sometimes those fish are going to hit again, and you just have to make your best attempt when musky fishing. Don't ever give up on a fish. Don't ever give up on a fish. Alright, if we're talking about the mental game of fishing, every single time you bring in your rod, you need to do a figure 8. Or, at the bare minimum, you need to do at least one lazy L. And so the lazy L is where you're bringing in your rod and you're going to kind of do a swooping L turn to the side. It's not a 90-degree L, but it's a swooping lazy L turn. And the idea with that is that you have a muskie that maybe is following and you can't see it or you don't know it's there, but by doing that L turn, you provide a change of direction. You also provide the broadside to where the fish is going to bite. Muskie T-bone the side of their baits. Usually they don't, well, sometimes they grab it from behind, but usually they T-bone it from the side, and so that lazy L presents the presentation. Every single cast when you're musky fishing, even if you're not paying attention, even if you're not doing an absolute full figure 8, you need to at least do a turn of direction at the boat. That mental aspect, it's hard to get in the habit of doing it, but again, it will catch you fish. You know, again, I said it already, but the whole idea of musky fishing is you want to increase your odds, your percentage chances, that is, of catching a fish. Some people think it's all about color. Some people think it's all about presentation. People think it's all about, you know, the bait that you're using. But probably, if you go out and you cast all day long, and it probably doesn't matter what you're fishing with. Maybe you're fishing with one of these. Maybe you're fishing with one of these. Maybe you're downsizing to one of these. Maybe you got this bad boy. Whatever it is, if you're staying strong, making good casts, you're doing figure 8s at the end, you're really in the zone, probably any of these lures would work. But if you're making sloppy casts, you're not paying attention, you're not doing figure 8s, and you're not ready for the bite, then you probably won't catch fish, and you're probably just going to get frustrated. You gotta make sure that mental game's strong. Now, another tactic for you guys, musky fishing. I just kind of threw out a bunch of lures at you, but when we were talking about that cast back, sometimes instead of casting back immediately with, you know, a huge lure, sometimes it doesn't hurt to cast back immediately with a much smaller lure. So I'm gonna just hold up these two for you. We have a Mepps Musky Killer, and I don't know what this is, Double Showgirl, okay? These are radically different in sizes. If you get bit on that larger lure, sometimes it doesn't hurt to have a smaller rod rigged up to cast back a musky killer. Now, if you're fishing with a bait caster with one of these things, probably your bait caster isn't going to toss out a musky killer very easily because these are so much lighter. This is actually a size 5 blade on the Mepps musky killer. You might think about having a musky style spinning rod. And yes, indeed, there are musky style spinning rods out there that can absolutely handle a fish. So maybe that would be a consideration to up your chances of getting those fish to bite again. Remember, muskie are predators. Muskie are not the most intelligent fish in the world. You can trick them. Go back if you have a fish that's aggressive. Go at it multiple times. I'm going to leave a couple of musky clips here right at the end just so you guys can see that yes, indeed, I have caught fish, and sometimes I know what I'm talking about. Not always. By the way, I'm talking mostly river fishing here. I don't fish lakes very often, so potentially these tactics might not work in lakes. I'm not sure. But hopefully, some of you watching this are going to upgrade your game, and that'd be really awesome. All right, let's go check out some musky clips, and let's get going. Only a couple more months, and we'll be fishing open water, guys. All right. Catch, release, wander. I will see you in the next one. Those rocks look a little bit more fluky. Oh, there's a fish. Did that fish see us? There's a fish. It was on it. It was on it. Go back. That's a muskie. That's a muskie. Get it back in there. Get it back in there. Yeah. That was a muskie. Oh, there you go. It's on it. It's on it. Get it going faster. 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 And
he's on it. I got it. Oh, he's off. He's off. God.
Oh boy,
He bit.
dude, you were going as fast as you could and that fish came. I told you. Oh, I told you.
The clown. Oh man.
Oh, he was down. Oh,
He bit it.
dude, that was so. These eyes. Oh, shit, that fish is still there.
He's still on it.
Okay. Well, I got my anchor down.
Just hit again.
Yep. Here we go. Bring it.
Right side.
Okay. Yes!
God, he followed for so long.
Oh my gosh.
What a follow, Adam.
Oh.
I was like, he's done.
First figure 8 muskie.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that was ridiculous. Okay.
I was done. I literally had it in the water, and he was right there at it. And I was like, oh my God, he's here. I got it right there.
Oh my gosh, that was.
So I think that was the fish over there that spooked in the weeds, right?
Yeah, that fish spooked. And then when you cast, I saw a tail, and I was like, that has to be a muskie.
Let's go spinners now. That is so cool.
There it is. It's on it. Nice. Wow. I'm coming. Okay, I'm coming around. Jeez. Well, I'm going all the way around you. Okay. Bring it towards me if you can. Get in! There we go. Oh, there we go, muskie. Whoa. Oh. Oh. Son of a bee. Finally hooked into a fish.